Working for a pre-product market fit startup is often a misguided career move. Working for a pre-product market fit, a pre-PMF startup, is often a misguided career move.
The word often is changing the meaning there. It can be a misguided career move, but I think it's a great career move. If I had a son like you or anybody that I was mentoring and they were coming out of college, whatever, that's a perfect time to join a pre-seed, pre-product company.
Well, I actually had this yesterday. I had someone come to me for career advice yesterday. And I told him, yeah, just come over to my house. And he was like, I need to figure out what I'm doing. I mean, he's younger, but not too young. He's like into a career, but he's like not satisfied and or there's no growth. And he's like, hey, do you think I should be doing education or content or upskilling or learning new things to get into a career that I'm happy with? I'm like, yes and no, because you can go and learn more skills and upskill and become better at what you're doing. Or honestly, you could start a startup. Or you could take the risk of being an entrepreneur and your side hustle or that time that you'd be educating yourself or learning new things, go and put that towards making revenue, producing a product, making moves to a product market fit, validating a business model, and start your own company. And if it takes off, make that your full-time gig, right? That's what I'm saying.
You're my son, but I meet with a lot of entrepreneurs that are young, and I say, if you were my son, here's what I would tell you. And I say, first of all, when you go work for the man, you are renting your time, the most valuable commodity you have, to another entrepreneur who's going to take your time and make 5-10 times what he's paying you in terms of revenue for himself from leveraging your time. The question is, do you want to cut out the middleman and be an entrepreneur and a founder yourself?
Yeah.
And now, so how should you get into the entrepreneurial game? One of the smartest ways to get in the entrepreneurial game is decide how much risk tolerance you have. Some people have more, some people have less. Wherever your risk tolerance is will determine at what stage of a company you can join. If you have really high risk tolerance, then go
earlier.
Just go be a co-founder.
Do your own.
Or, if you can't find an idea to jump on or other co-founders, then get on one where there's 2 or 3 really sharp co-founders, but they're at the earliest stage. For instance, let me tell you the story. This is just a fun story. One guy that I knew answered a question on Quora, and the person loved the answer so much, they invited him out to Silicon Valley, and he thought, who is this? It was 3 guys starting a new company, and he flies out from Utah. Out there, he had to pay for his own flight because these guys said, your answer was so good, we want to talk to you about our startup. He goes out there, goes to a dingy apartment building, knocks on the door where he was told to go, and there's 3 guys with 2 desks and a beanbag, and for the next 6 hours, they talk about a startup, and he wasn't the co-founder. He just joined as like employee number 4 or 5.
Well, he ended up joining them.
And he joined that company, and that was Pinterest.
Yeah.
And so from Utah, the guy goes out and he gets over a 1% stock option package to join and in Pinterest. So pretty good move, career move, would you say?
Yeah. So like pre-product market fit companies can pan out a lot of times. Yeah, it is the risk tolerance that you have as a career-minded individual or as an entrepreneur. Like, where do you fit on that spectrum of when you should be joining or not?
So let's take an average person. Let's say a person with average tolerance or risk tolerance. I tell them, go find a company, 2 or 3 sharp co-founders, and you can see they've figured some business model things out. They're ready to develop their product. And go tell them you'll clean their toilets, you join their company, just give you some stock options. And if you've got that risk tolerance, give me a little bit of pay. You just work out the best combination. And what you're aiming for is to join the company right before the hockey stick curve starts going up. That's a perfect time to join.
Yeah.
And a lot of people in this world won't join a company. They want to wait till that company's funded, can pay a market rate salary. They're going to hardly get any stock options when you do that. If you can go a little earlier and get a piece of the rock, get equity, and start getting the entrepreneurial game, you're going to be a lot happier.
And sure, if you take it the whole way, that's a great learning experience, but it's also just about learning too. I remember when I was early on in my career, I joined a startup very early on as like the number 1 employee because I wanted to learn from that CEO. He was one of the best fundraisers I had ever met. And he was building a very complex product that I thought had a ton of legs and that I think could go the distance. And I remember being around him and taking on a lot of his responsibilities as a CEO. He shirked that work over to me, honestly. But at the same time, I learned a ton there. And then my next thing, I went and started my own company, and I was able to take a lot of the learnings that I took from that experience into my own startup.
Yeah,
So
I think that gave you the confidence to say, hey, I think I can be the founder.
yeah, it did. It gave me the confidence to say, man, like I'm basically doing a lot of the founding work here that this guy is giving to me and giving me that responsibility. I feel like I can take this, package it up, and do my own thing.
Yeah, one last story. Your brother-in-law, who's a good friend of yours.
Yeah.
Okay. He had a job at a very prominent company here in Utah. He gets the opportunity because we hear of an opening at a company that we were close to, that they had the need for one of their first hires. And he had to take a 50% pay cut, no benefits. And he goes over there, but gets a percentage of equity options. And he was debating whether to do it. And I said to my son-in-law, I will tell you, this is one of the hottest startup teams. I think it's going to be an incredible outcome. And that equity that you're getting, those options will be way more than you could ever earn during that same period. Plus, you'll probably in a couple of years be not only up to your old salary, but more with benefits.
Yeah.
And you're going to be so much better off. And you have seen that all turned out.
Yeah, it all panned out. And I remember that his father was pretty against it. So he came to you for advice. Yeah. Again, this is my brother-in-law, so you are his father-in-law. And you were saying, yes, do it.
His father said, don't leave the secure job.
Yeah.
And I said, do it.
Yeah.
Take the risk.
Like Senator Palpatine from Star Wars. Do it. Do it. He's the devil. Okay, so working for a pre-product, pre-PMF startup is often a misguided move. I disagree. So I think it is.
I disagree with that.
It's probably one of the best wealth generating things you can do as an individual.
Yeah, I don't like taking the weak sauce argument. Well, that failure was a good education. That's not what we're saying here. We're just saying that if you learn the entrepreneurial tactics and strategies and you keep at it, great things can happen and you don't have to be some incredible, charismatic entrepreneur. Great things will happen.
Yeah.